Good afternoon, people. My name is Stuart. I'm a genuine healer. I'm going to give you a little bit insight of my story. I'm going to show you some videos, photographs, testimonies. You can make your own judgment on them, but these are genuine and are the real article, and there's nothing false about them at all. The stuff I can do it's out of this world. I am connected to the universe somehow. I can communicate with the sun, the stars, the moon. It is unbelievable what I can do. But I can see energy. I can see people's energy fields. It's just unbelievable what I can do. But these are genuine articles. No frills, nothing. These are what you see is what you get. And I'm going to be open to anybody's criticism to try and say that they're not real or what. But that's entirely up to yourselves. But I'd like you to like the channel and to subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. Thank you.
Right, okay, Stuart, do you want to start by letting the listeners know a little bit about your background?
Well, my background's very checkered. I've got nothing to hide, I've got nothing to be ashamed of. I come from a very, very rough background. I was dragged up as a child. I had nothing. I had to fight for everything. I was dyslexic at school. And it was so hard for me to get forward, and I had to go down the avenues I went down. Like I say, I'm not ashamed of it. I've been to jail for some serious crimes. I had to fight for everything I had. And it was so hard at first. But as I got older, I got involved with people that I thought were loyal friends. And you haven't got such a thing as loyal friends. You've got people, associates. You've got very few loyal friends that you can stand by you. But I stood by each and every one of them, and that was my downfall. I'm not ashamed of that. That's made me who I am. And I stood by each and every one of them.
Okay, so back during those days, did you see any sort of signs that your healing was coming on, or that God had chosen you, anything like that?
Well, I should have been killed for about 4 times in my life. I should have been electrocuted. I held a bare wire and standing in the rain. It just shook us. Didn't even knock us on my back or anything. People was looking to see. Couldn't believe I was still standing there. I've had a guy had a gun to my head, pulled the trigger twice. And people who've been listening to this, actually who was standing there when this happened, the guy pulled the trigger, and it nicked the side of the bullet, didn't hit the centre of the bullet. And when I looked back, I knew that wasn't luck. I knew it wasn't. I was being protected.
Okay.
There was another occasion when I was in the sea in Ibiza. Not a strong swimmer. I dived in about half a mile out or so on one of them little pedalers. My wife and 2 kids on the pedaler, and the pedal away and left us, and I went down 3 times. And the 3rd time I went down, I'm on the bottom line there, and just everything slowed right down, and I put my hand out, put my arm out, it was lying on the bottom, it was about 15-20 feet deep. Put my hand out, and I felt the chain. And it was an anchor, it was a yacht it was anchored there, and I knew it wasn't there, otherwise I'd made a beeline for it. And I pulled myself up off that anchor, and I just couldn't. When I look back at it, I knew that anybody who's been in them situations, they make a beeline for safety, and that wasn't there when I went down. I knew it wasn't.
All right, okay. You know, there's people are saying that there's a documentary that tells a bit more about your story. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I've got a documentary out called Hard Man to Healer. It's on Amazon Prime. Tells us about it. There was a well-known documentary made for Viv Graham. He's a tough kid. And me and him just didn't see eye to eye because I wouldn't bow down. He was a tough kid. But I could stand in front of anybody and take and fight anybody, and I never used to get hurt. And I know now, when I look back, I know I was looked after. They could hit me with anything, and I'd just stand there and fight. This guy, he's a one hit. He used to knock people straight out, one punch. Then I got into an location of a nightclub. I got asked to keep these guys out. And I stopped them getting in. And it went off and they started fighting. And the people who was with me left us. I was left on my own. There was 6 in there and there's a couple of them tooled up. And Viv, bang, bang, bang. So I didn't fight back. I said I'm going to take it because I was going to get hurt anyway. And I was in a no-win situation. Unaware to me, the police had set this up. They used me as a lump of meat. The police should have been charged with conspiracy to murder because that's what they tried to do. They tried to get me murdered. It's not a nice thing to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth, and it's all the paperwork's there. A guy called Christopher Knox. He represented Viv Graham. And he asked the question when it called for this. They went to court for it. They had set 6 cameras up in the place, and they were trying to pull me outside the club. And they were, this is getting outside, we're going to stick him. And Viv was saying to me, go down, they're going to hurt you. I says, I'm not going to do it. I says, I'm going to let the fucking orders. So it got to a point where Viv started to get worried because he wasn't a villain. He was a fighter, not a villain. And as he says, I wouldn't go down. And then he said, and a few of them started punching at us. And Viv says, yeah, he's had enough. And unaware to me, there was 600 undercover police officers in there watching this. And when this went to court, then police officers took the oath, took the stand, took the oath. And Christopher Knox asked them, he was the defence barrister, QC, and he asked them, the police are saying, trying to tell the jury that this man was within an inch of his life, and they were going to kill him. And he says, each 6 police officers each took the stand and asked him, when were you going to intervene and stop this if the man was an inch of his life? And their answer was, our orders was not to stop this, but to let it take its course.
Okay. Which
is a conspiracy to murder in my book.
So do you believe God protected you that day?
Yeah, I believe I got protected, yeah, because it was the punishment I took and I just brushed it off and got up. Yeah.
That pushed you to go further, yeah?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a criminal record as such before this, and the police forced me down them lines because I had lost faith in the police altogether by then.
But now, like you say, what we're going to look at next is some images and stories where you've regained your faith, but not in the police, but more in God itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few of the signs. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is you call it the face of God in the sky. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I said, it was hard for me to accept what I can do, what I can see. I can feel people's energies. I can see people's energies. I put my hand out and I can see energy. Just beams of light comes out of my body and everything. And it was hard, really hard for me to accept this. And I says, I was in the back garden praying now, every morning, every night. And I was in the back garden and I come the big fella. That's my name for him, my Lord. And I says to him, yeah, big man, I says, if you have got a job for me to do, I said, I would please show me wife something. I says, I'll let her see something. I says, you're going to lose me. I said, because everybody thinks I'm going bloody mental here. And I says, I couldn't understand. Why did they think that? Yeah. And just as I said that, I've got a picture there. You're going to be showing it. The clouds above my house changed into God. I looked up. My wife couldn't see it. I've got a video and a picture there that was took off the video, and it was. As soon as I seen it, I could see who it was, and I says to my wife, Sharon, can you see God's face there? She says, where? And I says, gives me phone. And she passed me phone, and I looked up into the sky, and he was playing his deer to me. And my wife couldn't see it until I took the photograph and blew it up. You'll see for yourselves. But it's quite an image, the big man, and I thank the Lord for that. He's let us see something.
So next, what I want to ask is, there's been an image you've shown a few times of crystals. Now you mentioned there's quite a unique story of how you got these crystals. Do you want to let us know a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, I was in Mallorca. I was going through a bit of a time across there. This is quite important, this actually. And as this was starting to happen to me, I was in Mallorca, and I've got a place out there in Mallorca, and I was sitting on the edge of the bed. This is before I'd ever meditated, done anything at all. And I just thought about meditating, and because I thought about it, I got thrown back on my bed. Now, as I got thrown back on my bed, I couldn't move my body, and I could speak but not like I can speak. It was very slow and quiet. Now, as I got through back there on my back, I was lying on the bed, and I started to worry. My feet started to fill up, like a warm water sensation. And the noise, it was like, if anybody knows what pylons sound like, the electrical cables going overhead, it was like 100 times stronger, the noise in my head. And I was slowly filling up with like a warm water feeling, and I was vibrating something terrible, and I was shitting it. Tell the truth, I was shitting it. Didn't know what was happening to me, and I thought, I'm gonna die here. And I'm lying on my back, and I couldn't move. And my wife started to get worried. She threw in a lady I know up, June, and she says, light a candle and a glass of water. But mine's not completely spiritual. Mine comes from the universe. My energy and power and my spiritual power comes from the universe. Now I'm lying on my back, and as my wife lights a candle and a glass of water there, and I'm slowly filling up, and I'm shitting it. It's coming up to my chest, and it comes up to my neck. As it gets up to my neck, I thought, you're gonna stay ahead, you're gonna die here. And I'm lying there, and I couldn't move, and it went up through my head, past. And then as such, just started calmness coming, and I got very emotional. It's the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. And I was worried at first, and it just calmness come in. But I still couldn't move. And the noise of the energy going through my body, it was still rapid in my head, and I couldn't move, and I'm vibrating, but I'm getting a lot calmer. And as I'm calming down, the vibrations starting to calm down, and the noise is calming down. About an hour and a half, 2 hours it lasted. And I was very emotional, and then a man, I was thinking about things, and it was a lot to take in, and a lot to take in what had just happened to me. But it had happened to me, and it just changed my life completely, turned my life on my head.
Okay, and so how did this lead on to you getting the crystals?
Well, this like I say, this lady I know, that's Joan. She's helped me through bits and pieces, and she's through the start of this. And I says I'll after I think a day or two went by, and I said I'm going to have to get Joan a crystal or something to take back. And I went down. They had a fair on a Sunday and a Thursday, like an open market. So I went down looking for some crystals, and I got a few crystals. I put them in my pocket, and there was this little Inca fella. Looked like a little Inca, short, like Cleopatra type haircut, and he looked about 100 years of age. And I got these crystals, and he only had about 20, 30 items on his stall. And he wasn't interested in anybody but me. And he bowed to us, and I thought I'd be past the compliment bar, and I bowed back to him. And then, as I walked away, I got these crystals, and I'm walking away, I got all dizzy and that, and I felt faint and everything. And then, as So we Sharon had to take us to a little cafe to sit down. There's couple of people there that we're cross on holiday with. So Sharon took us back to see this fella, and when I got to see this fella, and he couldn't speak English or anything, and she just told Sharon to sit us down, and I sat down in his chair, and we clasped hands, like my hands were like that, and his hands were over the top of it. Because his was between mine, and like the 4 hands together like that. His was in between there, and then mine was in between his. And I started seeing all these ruins in ancient buildings. And I went through it was crazy. It was crazy. And then after about 10 or 15 minutes, I opened my eyes, looked up, we looked at each other, and we just bowed to each other and walked away, and I felt very calm and relaxed after that. Then these crystals started burning my back pocket. I got them out. I thought, wow, I got them out. Now this crystal, I got a crystal for June, and it was like a bluey purplish heart. Nothing on it, just plain. So I brought it across. When I brought them home, I gave her it, and as I gave her this crystal, when she took it home, she got up the next day, and there was a white heart in the middle of it. And she couldn't believe it. She brought it back and showed us, and she passed it to us. And when I held that crystal, the heart started to beat. It was, well, you had to see it to believe it. And she still got it now, and when I hold it now, it still does it. So maybe I'll get it down and show you on video. That heart is beating. And the other crystal that I got, it was that. I've got a lot of photos there of the crystal. The face has just changed in it every day. There's different persons from way back to like, I wouldn't say modern day, but to maybe the early 1900s or so. And it just used to change all the time. Different pictures in it. Like you're going to see some of them today, I think, on here.
Okay. I know you've been back to Mallorca a few times since, and so have you ever went back to maybe see the chap to see if he can explain the crystals?
Yeah, I've been back 4 or 5 times. Well, like I say, I used to go out there regular once a month. That chap that stall was never there again.
He's never
yeah, never met. That guy was sent there for me. Yeah.
Okay, so next we're going to go on to quite an interesting video. It's you, I believe, in the sea in, is it Mallorca?
Mallorca, yeah.
And it shows you were able to control the ocean.
Well, I don't know about controlling the ocean, but I know I was getting introduced to the ocean, to the Mediterranean Sea it is actually. When I went in the sea there to pray, I went down there bare feet in the sand in the water, and I was praying, and I seen God's face in the water. So I says to my wife Sharon, she's like standing behind me in the sand. I says, you better get up on them rocks and video this, because there's something happening here, and the energy and power I'm feeling from the sea is immense. So there she tots up and gets on the rocks, and then goes a bit further into the water, about up to me shins. I was about maybe 6-7 inches into the water, so maybe a little bit more. And then God's face appears again, and the energy I felt was so loving and immense. It was just powerful, really powerful. And I was getting introduced to the sea. The sea started to react around me, coming into us, and sniffing about us. Just it looked like a dog coming to meet you, a loyal dog that come to meet you and sniffing around your feet. And then the sea just went out by about, I don't know, about 20 meters. It went right out. I'm standing there, and it's going out and coming in at the same time. And as it starts to come back in, I'm seeing all these colours and beautiful divine colours, indigos, light blues, pinks, greens, purples. They're beautiful. They were so loving and peaceful. And I could see them all in the sky, and as I'm praying, the sea is reacting around my body. It comes in, comes around us, and starts going across the bay, and it starts making whirlpools. And that was my Lord God introducing me to the sea. It was very powerful, very emotional, but it was very loving as at the same time.
Okay, well, what we'll do is we'll pop a little notification in the top corner there if anybody wants to watch that video in full. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just some of the signs that we've saw so far, but can you tell us a little bit more of how things have progressed since that day?
Yeah, well, I just seem to go from strength to strength. It was, like I said, it was very difficult to deal with at first. I can see energy. I can look directly into the sun without blinking. I just got a message just saying introduce us to the sun, and I just looked at steps, and the sun starts pulsing at us, the moon pulses at us, the stars move about. I've got photographs of stars, and I've got photographs of believe it or not, spaceships. They just took an interest in me for some reason. But as time moved on, and I hid behind this. I hid behind it. I was ashamed of what people would think and say because of my background. You do a bit checking up on me. I'm a proper stand-up fella who never stood away from a fight, and I would, put what I say. I'm a very loyal, and I say what I mean, and I'll not hide behind anything. So how difficult it was for me, you could understand a little bit. And me sons, me daughters, my wife, and my families and close friends, I was fetching them in. I was healing them for all kinds of different ailments. I was healing them. And it got to a stage where the pebble had been thrown in the water, and it was rippling and rippling. So eventually I says to my family, this was on, I says, listen, I got them all in the office, talking to them, and I said, listen, I cannot hide behind this no longer. I says, I'm prepared to what people's going to say. I said, yous are going to have to be prepared what people's going to say. I says, because I cannot hide behind it no longer. I says, this hasn't been given to me to hide away. And I haven't got to be ashamed of who I am and what I can do. Now, as I said that, this is unbelievable, unbelievable, and there's footage there. As I said that, my wife says, Stuart, what's that? And we were in the office, and the CCTV's in the office. And there's a big white sphere, big white light of sphere, comes through the ceiling, the middle of the ceiling, coming through the middle of the ceiling, it comes down to the floor and manifests into a person with legs, and it's walking. And as it's walking, his wings come on his back, and it walks through the wall. And that was a sign for me, and it was from my Lord, saying he was proud of me, telling me there's some evidence, more evidence for you, Stuart. I'm proud of you to admit who you are and what you are. And you've just got to watch it to believe it. And I'm going to be putting it on this first video I'm doing for you to have a look. Like, take this, have a look, and you can think what it is yourself, but believe me, it is what I'm saying it is.
Okay, well, again, like the ocean video, we'll put that in the top corner for people to click. Now, just to take you back, you mentioned signs that you see, things like crosses and stuff like that. You draw some of these as well, don't you?
Yeah, I've got these drawings. I've got. I get work up through the night. This is with me 24 hours a day. This is with me, and it's come to me. I'm not saying nobody else could have handled, but if I hadn't went through the life I've went through, I couldn't have handled this. I've been taken down that road and hardened off physically and mentally to be able to handle this. Otherwise, I'd have been off the bridge. This has been so bloody mentally and physically hard. And it's this here is, it is very, very hard for people. I don't know how many people have went through this beforehand and never been able to handle it. But I know I've been chosen, and I've been chosen to be woken up, rush through this, because I'm needed now for what is going on in the world. I am needed now. Yeah.
Like you say, you mentioned about the signs and stuff. I know I asked you the question about the pictures, and we kind of touched on it. So I've got some up on the screen now. Don't I let one know a little bit about a few of them?
Yeah, well, these drones I do, that I get a little electric shock, woke up, a little shock, or I bite my lip or my tongue, and I wake up through the night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I get all sorts of symbols. I'm going to put them out there, and hopefully someone out there will be able to understand what they mean, because there's all kind of different symbols, hieroglyphs, numerology, angelic numbers, which I know about them, but I cannot find anybody who knows about these symbols. So I'm going to put them out there for people to share and have a look, and see what they come up with. But there's one of the main ones was that I've been in my house now for 27 years. I've been in this business, a club here, for 12 years. Now, I don't believe in coincidence, and I know Jesus has been with me all my life. At work, Jesus stands there when I heal. Now, this is unbelievable. My house postcode is NE8 2US. The postcode at the club here is NE8 2SG. And I woke up this morning, got electric shock, and I woke up, little buzz. And the two postcodes are side by side and floating about in my room. And I'm looking and I'm saying, what the significance here? And I just couldn't get my head around it. So what the hell does this mean? And then the two postcodes went side by side. And then the lettering moved forward. The lettering in the two postcodes spelled Jesus. I'm not saying I am Jesus, but I'm telling you that Jesus stands with me when I heal. And he's letting us know that he's with me.
Okay. And I know you mentioned around like the signs and the energy, so right now while we're live, what do you see now?
What have I seen now? I can see all different colours. As soon as I ask for the energy, I just look up there. Yeah, that's coming to my hand now.
What colours do you see?
There's an indigo and green beam coming to my hand. I've never met anybody else who can see these. So you're just going to take me word on these. Yeah? But if anybody wants to come and see me, they can feel the energy going through their body. And I can heal people like that.
Okay, and you hold group sessions regarding this?
I hold group sessions on a Thursday night at the Teams Club, NE8 2SG in Gateshead. It's an open house, anybody can come. We'll do some healing, we'll do meditation, deep meditation. You feel a love, and it's a powerful meditation. And we'll do some mediumship, where people get some messages in from loved ones. But we also try to learn people to use the energy, and use the crystals, and just going forward to. Everybody's got a gift, everybody has, but they've just got to believe in themselves and believe in Jesus, in God. Okay,
so that's the Teams Club in Gateshead. What would be the times?
It starts at 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock. It's £3 entry, but you get a free tea, coffee or water and biscuits there, so them are free of course.
So, just taking you back to the question we asked about the energy, I know you said you can see it coming down from like you say, above into your hand. Do you see any other colour changes in your day-to-day?
Yeah, well, every night I pray and I look across. I've got I pray in my games room, but yeah, I'm looking across the valley, and as I start praying, the sky starts to change colour, and it changes colour within minutes, seconds. It goes from green, blues, indigos, pinks. I've got photos there to show people, and the times is on the photographs where it's unexplainable. The sky changes colour, the universe changes colour. biblical people come down to me. There's beams of light come through me and go through my body, come straight out. As soon as the colour, the sky starts changing, there's beams of light coming through. I know it's like out of a movie, but believe me, what I'm telling you, I'll sit any polygraph, anything, that these are true. What I'm saying is true.
Okay, so that's what we've got so far. There's, as you guys can already see, quite a lot of good signs there, okay? There's a lot more to come in the future. But Stuart, do you have a message for the viewers before we go?
Yeah, anybody that's got any questions to ask, don't hesitate. I've got a group on Facebook called Divine Light Cosmic Healing. You're welcome to join. There's a lot of testimonies on there that you can read for yourself, and leave us any questions you want, or if anybody's going through any difficult times, I'm willing to answer questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to wrap up. The video will continue on for a little bit longer because we're going to put up a couple of Stuart's testimonials for you guys to take a look at. There's some outstanding stuff there, guys, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them. Please share and like the video as mentioned, and please feel free to subscribe because there's plenty more to come. But apart from that, thanks for watching.